Robots may be coming for your job.
Machines could eventually replace people in the workforce.
Will the huge advances in robotics and artificial intelligence strip away more and more jobs?
I do believe that a lot of jobs will be replaced over the next 10, 20 years.
People will increasingly lose their jobs, whether it be blue collar or white collar. No one's job is safe.
Historically, machines have been taking human jobs since the first industrial revolution. But this transition also created our first factories, while providing new jobs that had never existed before. This cycle of job loss and job creation repeats through the decades. The internet and digital age eliminated jobs like mapmaker, typist, travel agent, and telephone operator. It also redefined the music and entertainment industry, spawned a global economy, online marketplace, and new jobs that were unheard of 20 years ago, like YouTube star, social media manager, and app developer.
We have seen generation after generation of manufacturing change. We adapt, we figure out new things to do, and we keep going.
We're now at the dawn of another revolution, where advances in AI will touch all corners of our lives.
There'll be millions of jobs that we, cannot anticipate right now that will be there because of AI.
What's happening today is not that machines are replacing humans, but rather that humans working with AI are replacing humans working without AI. So it's key to think about how you can actually work better using this technology.
In Boston, Massachusetts, Rethink Robotics creates artificially intelligent robots that partner with humans on the factory floor.
With Sawyer, there's a lot of artificial intelligence going on behind the scenes. It knows that it has to approach in a particular way. It knows how to position its arm. And it also has some rules, like, for example, if I take this, the robot is going to detect that it actually didn't pick something, so it knows to retry and pick that. We measure torques at every single one of the 7 joints, and that helps us identify, for example, how much force we're pushing with, or even when it's carrying something, how much it actually weighs. We have a camera right up here, and so the head can look around its workspace, understand when things are changing so that it can take different actions.
Sawyer learns by demonstration, not programming, which lets almost anyone train it to do tasks.
Sawyer's gone in some very small factories with less than 10 people working in them. If you put a traditional robot in there, you'd need a team of systems integrators.
And one thing that you can do there to optimize the cycle time is to have the gripper pre-oriented so that...
We came up with the idea of, instead of programming the robot, training the robot, which is what you do with a person. You show them the task, you show them a few things they have to do, and they sort of patch it together, and they figure stuff out. What we've seen in some of the small factories is that some person with little technical background, they learn how to use it, and they become a robot person, and they get it to do tasks.
Sawyer is changing how people work with robots in factories around the world. Even a small stamp company in Richmond, Virginia, is updating its production after 40 years of business.
I was the shipment manager, and the boss let us get purchased a robot. And I said, that's awesome. I don't know if I really have the skill set for it, but I'd love to try. So his first position will be here for the pick. And then from here, we would move to our next location. With Sawyer, when you're training him, you're gonna make a few points, and Sawyer's AI is going to create the rest of the moves in between those points. We brought it in for cutting wood because it's the most dangerous task in the workplace. And also filling ink was just very messy, and it takes a really long time. We would cut these probably 500 pieces at a time. But he can run the saw overnight, so he can cut out 1,000 mounts before we get back in the morning.
I've been working here over 30 years. For me, it has changed a lot. If we get a big order in, say like 100 mounts, and I'd have to cut 100 mounts, plus drill the holes, plus put the handles on them. But now Sawyer's gonna be able to do all of that. Do I like the part that he took over? No, he can have it.
I was a customer service representative up front. Then I was moved to the back where I became a shipment manager. But with Sawyer coming to the workplace, now I'm the robotic technician. Now when I come into work, I know that I'm gonna be training a robot to do something new that nobody else has probably ever done, so it's pretty exciting.
Robots can do the dull, repetitive things that bore people out of their minds, and then they can enjoy their jobs and be much more effective as human beings.
While Sawyer mimics our human ability to learn by demonstration, other robots display human-like agility. Boston Dynamics' Spot mini robot can open and walk through doors. Its Atlas robot can run, jump, and do parkour. Still, other robots are created to look like us.
When you go back literally thousands of years, like to Greek mythology, people were envisioning robots, machines made to kind of mirror our image.
There is this desire to emulate a human, to create the most lifelike, human-like robot.
Shall we fly?
I guess in science fiction, we'd refer to it as a replicant. One interesting aspect of the Blade Runner series is an android that is absolutely indistinguishable from humans.
They were designed to copy human beings in every way.
There is a whole movement, especially in Japan, to make robots look as human as possible, and I suspect that it's a really disastrous thing in the making. We don't want to start getting into the situation where we feel that the machines have, in some sense, the same rights as humans because they look like people.
You could have the most sophisticated android that looks like a human, talks like a human, behaves like a human, but if that glimmer of consciousness is absent, no, it's not a person.
Well, you might not want all your machines to be conscious. Maybe you don't want your toaster to be conscious. I mean, if you're a very, very intelligent toaster, wouldn't it be kind of a torture to be forced to do nothing but toast bread all day long, right? But if you have a elder care robot, say, who has to really get to know the person they're helping and bonds with them, I suspect that person would prefer that that robot is conscious so that the things it says are actually sincere. It's only consciousness that can provide a foundation for morality and meaning and purpose. All the things we actually care about. If we can figure out what information processing corresponds to actual subjective conscious experiences, then we could build machines which feel a real empathy and actually care about us.
We are teaching AI to work, think, and reason in revolutionary ways.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna pass out your iPads.
But what does it look like when artificial intelligence teaches us?